Good evening once again, and welcome to week 2 of the Arsenal Social. All things social, and tonight, all things mostly Arsenal. We'll see you the other side of this. Good evening. Once again, welcome to the Arsenal Social. With me tonight, I've got two very esteemed young gentlemen, and it should be an absolute cracker. First of all, welcome back again to the show, Steve. How's it going?
Oh, mate. It's just 2 more sleeps until Arsenal Christmas. I cannot wait. Thank you so much. Christmas has come. It's going to be like a Brazilian sort of amazing, hot, steamy beer flowing, Arsenal winning, everyone's singing. I cannot wait. I am so excited. I'm so excited. Come on.
So I can assume you're a little bit excited for Saturday, yeah?
Yes, mate. Yes, I am.
Excellent.
Yeah, take that as a gift.
Any further, just want to say well done again for the show on Tuesday, Steve. It was great again. Really, really enjoyed that. So well done.
Thank you.
Coming. And again, if no one's watched that yet, firstly, why not? But please do check in on a Tuesday night with Steve and Sean. It's really a fabulous show. And also tonight, making his Arsenal Social debut and over again debut is Chris, who's my friend and a diehard Evertonian. How are we doing, Chris? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, mate. Yeah. I'm buzzing to hear what you guys are going to say about
it goes downhill from here.
All things and filth, you know.
Yeah, well, there's a link there, isn't there, between Arsenal and Everton at the moment. Me and Chris have kind of a bit of background and known each other for quite a few years now. We've shared many a pint together, talking about football, pretty much mainly about football. I don't really know what else we talk about, to be quite honest, but it is mainly football. We've got a mutual hatred for the red side of Liverpool, which I think is one reason how we bonded. Like I said, the red side, Chris is drinking purple wine tonight, just to let everyone know, not to be confused with the red wine. So
purple wine. There's no red allowed in this house.
Just purple. Please take note. I hope
unless it's a Ferrari.
Everyone else who is with us tonight has got a drink. As it is the Arsenal Social, so cheers.
Cheers, guys. Nice to be
here. Thanks for having us on.
So the first week of the Premier League season has been eventful, and I think generally speaking, it was quite a good first weekend. I mean, I know your boys didn't get the result that you would have liked, Chris, but I think overall, we can be satisfied. Before we jump into the football stuff, though, there is something that I wanted to sort of bring in to the show as we are social, and it's get to know your guests. It's going to be a new feature for any new guests that come on board. Now, Steve, we didn't do this last week, and as you are officially, even though you are, a member of the Over and Over Again family, you are still officially a kind of a guest on my show. So I'm going to start with you. Very, very simple questions. No kind of trying to catch you out, but just to get to know more about yourself. So first, I want to know is your favourite current Arsenal player.
My favourite current Arsenal. Oh, that's a so for me, right? For me. It's got to be Emil Smith Rowe, right? I know we could all go Saka and everything else, and don't get me wrong, I love the kid, but for me, it's Emil Smith Rowe, and I've watched that kid, and literally from a child, as he's gone through the under 18s, under 21s, and going out on loan, and his time at Huddersfield. And I remember watching him. There was something I can't remember what it is. He was running in on goal. And I watched him sort of how he did it with his ankles, didn't break his ankles and knees, and God knows what. He did this sort of turn and just popped the ball in for this goal that did something. And I looked and I just thought, we genuinely have a genius. We have absolute genius. I love him. I love his energy. I love him with Saka as well. Get me wrong. And it's very close to it. So for me right now, it's got to be Emil Smith Rowe.
Cool, excellent, good choice. And what about favourite ever player?
Smith Rowe is a genius, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that. Talking about Smith Rowe, I don't think he necessarily had the impact we would have expected last year. I felt it was quite a stop-start season in many respects for him. Once, he got injured and Martinelli come into the team, he did lose his place a little bit. And when he did come in, he found it hard to kind of impose himself. The first half of the season, I thought he was really good, but the injury, halted him a little bit. But I really hope that he will get back into that team now. He's fit again. He's in full training. He'll definitely be on the bench. I would have thought for Saturday, probably not starting, but we got to keep him. He's class. He's pure class, and the fans love him. What about your favourite ever player, Steve?
Favourite ever player? Does it have to be an Arsenal player?
No, anything. No.
Okay, so my favourite ever player, and this is from school, was Kevin Keegan. I just remember when he played for England. When he played for England. Yeah. So Chris is already gonna block me straight away. So it was just Kevin Keegan, and I just remember as a kid, my mum, bless her little cottons, just taking me down to Phil Parkes. So I don't know if you remember Phil Parkes. He was a QPR goalie, and I grew up in West London, so we went down to Phil Parkes' sports shop because he'd retired by then. And Phil Parkes was enormous. It was just huge. I don't know if it was because I was a little kid, but I just remember getting the number 7 on my back and Keegan written across the back, and in the England shirt. And I remember going to my primary school where that was at the time, and it was school sports day. And coming out of my little England top, Kevin Keegan written on the back of it, and then getting the living daylights beaten out of me by the rest of the lads who all hated him. So for that very reason, I'm going to stick with it. Kevin Keegan's my all-time player, and an absolute genius of a player.
Steve, can I ask you? Do you have any? Obviously, apart from the bruising and the kicking, do you have any regrets about selecting Kevin Keegan as your favourite player?
Not at all. Like the man has a beautiful hair. The meltdown. The best one was the meltdown against Ferguson. And I remember sitting there thinking, everyone calm. Let's get Kev a glass of wine because he's getting all excited. It's all too much for him and stuff like that. But it was little moments like that I genuinely loved about him, and a talismanic player. For England, and obviously, and as a manager, it was just the energy and enthusiasm. It was like an intelligent chuckle brother. Is the only way I can kind of put it together. And that's what I saw. I've always got a soft spot for him. And I remember with my work, I'm very lucky in my work. I travel around a bit, so I do remember going to the Newcastle Stadium with my work, and it was just at the time when Kevin Keegan was just being sort of shown the door out of Newcastle, and there was hints of the guy everywhere, and it was just brought back those fond memories and some not so nice memories, and and all of those from St. Francis Primary. I remember that beating you gave me. I remember that. Still got the top as well, bruises.
I remember that. Interesting choices, Kevin Keegan and Emil Smith Rowe. Nice one. Same for you, Chris. Current player and best favourite player ever. Got to be a Wobie, surely.
Oddly enough, Adam, no. My favourite Everton player ever, and sadly, I've been supporting this lackluster
institution.
But if I could sort of see this, I'd say back in the 80s, Kevin Ratcliffe. But in my more mature years, or you may even refer to them as immature years when I tell you the answer, would be Duncan Ferguson.
Oh, there's a player. That's a player.
Currently, I would say it's a cross between how do you quote them or how do you evaluate them. You know what I mean? I think Anthony Gordon is a unpolished diamond.
Yeah.
It will be, oddly enough, under Frank Lampard has been reborn.
He had a good end to last season, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been amazing. He's been amazing, lad. Current player. Tough one, really tough one.
We'll go with a Wobie, eh? We'll go with a Wobie.
Yeah. Let's tag that in. Yeah. He's doing well. He's doing really well. And
we're actually with him right now.
He'll
muck up at some point because that's what he does. But he's doing well at the moment. That's the main point.
Yeah, but he had a dreadful first 2 years. So anything just from now on that's positive for me is a massive plus. You know what I mean?
Evening, Melvin. How we doing, mate? Just quickly, got Melvin in the chat. Fantastic show last night, Melvin. If anyone didn't watch it, Melvin did the Highbury match show last night. I loved every minute of it. it was just so nostalgic, and they were talking about an era from way before my time, and it was just great to hear yourself and Steve's stories. So if anyone hasn't checked that out yet, do go back on the channel and check out Melvin's show from last night.
That's Melvin Steve, by the way, not Steve. There was, Melvin. I've got to say, mate, there was that bit around the clackers. The old sort of, remember the old clackers that you used to go around. When you said like getting hit around the head with one of them, which just absolutely, honestly, absolutely made me laugh. And it felt to me, it was. I've got to say, Melvin, mate. As I was listening, it just felt like I was earwigging on a conversation with a couple of old mates that had been together, that had been through the football journey from children all the way up. And it was just, not that it felt bad, but I just sort of felt very privileged to actually be part of that and understand what Arsenal was like before I was even born. I mean, obviously, that's Melvin's friend to them because he's a youngster. But it was just so lovely to listen to it, to listen to the way that he sort of spoke about about what it was like to be a fan. The police marching band and everybody laughing, trying to get the guy to drop his baton going round. That it was just absolutely brilliant. And I think it sort of went back for me. Sorry to argue, Anne, but for me it went back to an era, bygone era that we just don't have anymore. We've kind of lost it in the commercial bit that we're in. And not to say that I'm still really excited. I don't know if I mentioned about Saturday, but it spoke to me of an era of football where it was so much more connected to the fans, and it was so personal. We didn't have social media, and I can't say to anybody that's listening, seriously, just have a listen. Get on and ask Melvin some questions, because honestly, these are it's just a glimpse into something different that didn't have Twitter and social media and all the negativity that you get, and the positivity as well that goes with it. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Jenny was I felt a bit special for me.
Show, and I think the best thing I could say is it flew by. It was like an hour show, and it just absolutely flew by. I was engaged throughout, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So, looking forward to that. The next installment.
Tell me, guys, who else will play on Saturday?
Leicester.
Where at?
At the Emirates.
3 points in the bag.
Well, you think so. That's
we've got to do it.
While we're on the subject, we've got Neil in the chat here. Evening, Neil. Neil's predicted 6-0 for Saturday. 6-0 to Arsenal, Neil's predicted. I'm loving that. Neil. Well, I mean, I won't let you forget it, but we'll see how we get on.
I think that's optimistic.
That's one word. That's one word. But you've not met Neil yet, but hopefully you will one day. He's a very positive man.
I like it.
So listen, before we move on, as you know, I know you tuned in last week, Chris, and obviously Steve, you're with me. We do talk a bit about socials and what's gone in the past week, and I've got plenty to go through. But before we kind of go any further, I want to put a picture up of someone that may have some resemblance to someone or some link to someone on the show.
God,
Sam Quek.
Mate, take that down, Sam Quek. Jesus Christ.
So Sam Quek. So as you saw, Chris's reaction to Sam Quek there.
Celebrity Scouser. Fucking hell, man.
But demure, pretty, gold medal winner, Sam Quek, that one, yeah, Chris?
Okay, two things.
A little while ago, just let me set the scene up a little bit of a while ago, Chris and Sam Quek got into a bit of a Twitter war, and it got
Wow.
I was looking for it, and I couldn't go back that far, but do you want to give a bit of an overview about the Sam Quek issue? Other than being a Scouser.
She's a celebrity Scouser, mate. She writes shite in the Daily Mirror. Professes to go to Anfield every second weekend. She doesn't. She's vile, pal. Honestly, God.
As you can see, big fan. I thought it was like put a Twitter on there. Let's just see how you feel. I thought that it might have mellowed throughout the time, Chris, but obviously hasn't. And I'm sorry to bring up those memories. But
in fact, like only last night, I think it was last night or the night before, it flashed up on ITV. Sam Quek on whatever it was, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I had to put it out there on Twitter. Said, "Turn your tellies off, lads. Sam Quek's on I Want to Be a Millionaire." Fucking turn it off, lads. Honest to God, man.
Yeah, got a couple of little things in the chat before I move on. Obviously, Neil just said 6-0 all the way. I really hope so, Neil. He also comments a little bit on Melbourne's show last night, which is, fantastic. Only had newspapers, whispers over the telephone, technical, teletext. Yeah, it was great. No social media, definitely. Shane's in the chat as well. Evening, Shane. Hope you're doing well. Definitely come on the Gunners. Neil's got a question for you, Steve.
Bottle of Shiraz, mate. Bottle of Shiraz. It was on special at Tesco's.
We're all on the wine tonight, actually. We're all on the wine tonight. So in the Arsenal social. We didn't even chat about it. We are not
promoting the use of alcohol and anything, within our podcast. I just drink a hell of a lot of wine when I'm on these podcasts. That's all I'm saying. That's my thing.
We've also got a question in the chat, which I'm going to come on to a little bit later. At first, I want to just go on to the more of the social side before I come on to a couple of the questions. So, last week we went through a few of the players who are very kindly appearing on Facebook. We saw a few people from Twitter. So this week, before the Palace game, I was just scrolling through the socials, as you do, trying to see how people were feeling. And considering it was a really, I assume last week was really busy, for all the guys involved in all the teams in the Premier League, getting ready. But just for someone to take the time to post on their Facebook, and especially our manager, I thought it was spot on. Mikel Arteta's got himself a Facebook page now, as you can see, we are ready. See you, Gunners. It's great, I know Mikel's, he's lived in this country long enough. I think he could have maybe spoke a little bit better on that. So I thought that was great. He posted that on Friday, actually, before the Palace game. So then we got some replies, etc. So
a few words, Mikel.
I mean, top one. Tochukwu Namendi, we're not ready, boss, even though we did well in pre-season. The positivity already, I mean, please, boss,
right.
Bring points for us. Will make us enter the season with our heads high and give us a very good momentum going forward as we did against Seville. We wanted the 6-0. We wanted that. We are ready. Please win tonight. We have been brilliant in the US. Fantastic. It goes on. I mean, to be honest, it is the manager. See, you can only imagine, there's been a lot of responses to this one. Please, no complacency within the team. Let everyone play with all his heart and commitment. Remember Jesus, in brackets Gabriel, if we weren't too sure about it, will send his angel Gabriel, led by Archangel Mikel, to massacre Saka. I don't know why Saka's massacring anyone.
Wow. Okay.
We need this season, but this time, no doubt in Thomas. No one was until you mentioned it. But cheers. Please.
Very biblical. It's very biblical, that one. I like the way they did that,
We've got some very biblical names now. I'm not quite sure the massacre was needed, but I get your point. It's like you, Steve. I'm thinking if that could have been you last week talking about that before the game. Let's go and massacre them. Let's do it.
Bring the wrath of Jesus upon them come the second coming this weekend,
Exactly. It goes on. Just 1 second. I've got my cocktail delivery person coming in.
Oh, get in there. Provocative. How posh are they? On this podcast, we've got a cocktail delivery system going on.
My eldest son he's only 13, but he's started getting interesting cocktails and he's making me a cocktail every night. I'll give you reviews in a minute. We move on. Chuckwood Paul, last season we did not get the result we needed because of how we lose our first game of the season. So he's pretty much blaming the whole season on that Brentford game.
Oh, Brentford, and COVID. COVID.
Please, boss, I don't need a heartbreak in the first 3 games. Make me happy. Pretty good. A lot of them are quite positive, though. Good luck. We need to work hard. Yeah, all fine. And then we move on again. No loss. This one is funny. No loss at every game, R2. He's like, I don't know if he's C3PO or something, but, it is R2. Please add more Chekalot like Gakpo, Paqueta and Sanchez to complete all the season if injury happens. We love you. We trust you, Mikel Lovely.
Is that somebody with Google Translate on that one?
I ain't got a clue what's going on. I wouldn't have a guess, to be quite honest with you. But there's a couple more I'll go through. We need a wing-back and a midfielder, Mikel. I like the fact that we can engage with Mikel and tell him exactly what we need. I like the fact that Mikel's given us that chance to do that. Good luck, boss. Let's Hummer them. I don't know what Hummer quite is.
I think it's a big car, isn't it? It's that big American car. Let's just drive an American car over the Leicester the Leicester team. I think it's provocative, but it's a new
game, by the way.
tactic.
This is before the Palace game.
Oh, the Palace game. Wow. Okay.
What I like to think though is that he's talking about Hummer, that he didn't give a damn about Selhurst Park, but who's at the Emirates, he would care a bit more. So that's why I wanted to Hummer at the away fans, but not when
that's it.
Home.
Just said about 10 Hummers all through Selhurst Park. I mean, it would probably fall apart if I'm honest with you.
The next one was my favourite response to the whole thing, the top one. The big fall, where you make last season against Brentford. If you try, tomorrow, Allah. Tomorrow is a must-win for us. Come on, you guys, let's do it together. So he starts off really violent, but in the end, he changes his mind a bit. Good luck. So,
maybe he's having a bad time at home. I don't know. What do you think, Chris? It looks like he's having a bit of a bad time at home. If I'm thinking like a lot of shouting and all that going on.
He sounds a serial fighter. Argumentative,
Let's buy him a pint.
Last week we had people body shaming poor Fabio Vieira. This week we've got people going to come down with blood and fire on the
and Hummers,
Palace Eagles. And then just to finish it off, we've got the top guy giving a bit of transfer tips. We are ready, sir, but I think we should go for Memphis Depay.
Why not? Why not? Yeah, come on.
I'd rather not, if I'm quite honest with you. I don't think he's done it at United. He hasn't really done it at Barcelona. He's I'd rather we didn't, but that's just me. That's just me. But that was before the Palace game. I think especially it was really nice of Mikel to give his time on Facebook. Time away from watching the Amazon Prime playbacks. Very, very
family,
nice. Like
the kids, the family, the whole lot. Well, he's just such a great guy.
I watched 3 episodes of that.
It's interesting
on Amazon. Brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Very interesting. I've just got a couple of comments I'll go for before we move on. Neil again, good man, Steve. I'm sure that was for the wine. He loves it, lads. Cheers, Neil. Thank you very much. Showed us his great energy and smiles. Cheers, Neil. That's literally the plan. Only the best for Adam. Thank you. The cocktail.
Always.
I've not tried
Always.
it yet. Now I will. I'll give it a try, and if I die, then you know why.
Go on, mate. It'll be fine. It's alcohol. You'll be fine. The liver is evil. Remember that.
That is strong. Might even grow my hair back.
Teaching these kids so well, mate.
Before we go on, we had a quick question earlier from Colonel Ward. Hi guys, what are your thoughts on Man United trying to sell Rashford? I saw that today actually. I think Rashford comes across as a decent enough person, but I don't think he's done it consistently at this level yet, personally. I know there's rumours of him going to PSG. I think most people would probably do well with that team in that league. I know you're probably looking at it from an Arsenal angle. I don't think we would need him at Arsenal. I don't think he would really add anything to us. I don't know how you would feel about that.
I'll go to Chris on that one. Go on, mate. You can start.
Would you like him at Everton, Chris?
No. I'd say as a footballer, he makes a great politician. I don't think he adds anything to Everton at the moment, apart from a threat and a missed goal, because that's what every single week of his life. Do you know what I mean? There was a couple of incidents last week. I watched the game against Brighton, and he was shocking. He can't finish his dinner. Never mind a goal, lad. You know what I mean?
He was. I saw some of the highlights of that, and he did look very erratic. And I think they said he hadn't scored in about 15 games, and you can see why.
Yeah,
I think he's just got on confidence. There's obviously talent now. We've seen it in the past, but I don't think he's ever done it consistently.
Yeah, maybe he's one of these players that needs a change of club for a change of look.
My thoughts. Exactly.
So, yeah.
I think, when I look at that, I think there's actually a very talented striker in there, contrary to popular belief and contrary to the media. I think he's got caught up in a media storm, as you say, from a political perspective, and I'm not really going to go into that, but he's caught up, has become a face of something that necessarily is probably a little bit too early in his career. I genuinely believe
you're right, Steve. Yeah,
I genuinely believe there's a great striker that needs somebody to put their arm around him and say, snap out of it, Like, focus on what you're doing in front of goal. Don't worry about all the rest of the stuff that goes with it. Because he's a young kid. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, when we were in our 20s, we could just about shave, let alone figure out life, the universe, and all of the indiscretions that go on. So I genuinely believe that, and I feel the same about Martinelli. Sticking him out on the wing is probably not the right place for him. I think if you had him as a central striker coming straight in on goal, I think that kid's going to get you 15 goals a season. Absolutely, 100%.
I think it'll be really interesting where he goes. If he leaves, I think it'll be interesting where he goes and where he plays in that position. Will he go as a wide forward or will he go down the middle? I think that he's definitely someone who's got the talent. I think he, like Chris has just said, he needs a new start, I think, with a fresh and going from there. But I don't dislike the guy. I think he comes across as a nice guy. He's obviously doing some good stuff.
He's clearly a lovely human being. You know what I mean? He's got a heart of gold, but he needs a reset. It's a control alt delete situation for me.
For sure.
Neil just mentioned a bit about the All or Nothing. Surprisingly good. I enjoyed it. I wasn't on the first episode. I thought it was a bit meh, but I thought episodes 2 and 3 are pretty good, and I'm quite looking forward to catching up with the other 3 as well. Because I do like that kind of show. I've watched all the NFL ones. I didn't watch the Spurs one out of
Why would you? I wouldn't even be able to understand it with the level of intelligence those guys have got.
I think they're quite well done.
I'd like to ask the Arsenal audience, what do you think about Aubameyang and the way he behaved himself or let himself down in the way Arteta?
A lot of people are not on episode 4 yet, Chris, including me. I think the Aubameyang stuff comes in episode 4, so let's talk about this next week.
Okay. I'll
give you my opinion. I'm going to try and watch it tonight, actually. I haven't had time to watch it today because, as you know,
just want to circle back one thing on that Rashford thing, actually, because while I think about it, is that I just think if we could get him out of the and don't forget, he's an England player. He plays for our country and he represents the country and he loves England. I think if we could get him out of the cauldron of Man United, and I tell you what, actually, he wouldn't be a bad shout for Everton. If I'm honest with you, because with Calvert-Lewin being injured and everything else, I genuinely believe we could get out of that. We would start to see the shoots of a good striker, and I feel the same about Martinelli. Not get him out of Arsenal, but get him into that central striking piece because he is a nightmare. He's an absolute nightmare to deal with. So I just for me, that kid deserves. He's a multi-millionaire. It's not necessarily that. But I think for his career to restart, he definitely needs an arm around him, get away from the negative. And you just got to look at the Manchester United vitriol that I've seen go against that guy. Just get out of that and try something different and hopefully move in a different direction because it's going to do us. We've got a World Cup coming up. And we can't, at the end of the day, we rely on Harry Kane because that man is a habitual loser in everything that he does, and his statistics actually show that. When you've got 0, if the Audi Cup is the biggest thing you've got, right, I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out there, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Remind me again, Steve. Who does Harry Kane play for?
Do you know? I think. Do you know what? I think I sort of saw. Am I right in saying that their stadium's sort of designed on a toilet seat? And I know, and if I remember rightly, I mean, I'm North Bank. That's where I sit, and then we've got the clock end. I believe they've got the cock end, haven't they? Where they got a chicken on the football. Just saying. Just putting it out there. I'm not swearing, by the way.
We don't use swear words where we can on this podcast, and the way you were going, that was one swear word that we don't want to hear.
Chicken on the football. Male chicken on the football. That's all I'm saying. We got the clock end. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you to Neil. Almost finished episode 6, but he stopped to listen to us. Cheers, Neil. Hopefully, you'll make it worthwhile. Sean's put in a couple of things in the chat as well. Quite good for seeing that even the biggest companies are running away that leaves you with your head in the hands. Definitely. And also a little bit about Rashford from Sean. More than just a physical job. I don't see is a Lingard decline at the same time as a coincidence. Yeah, they do.
Yes.
They do.
Yeah, agree.
I'm right with that one. I think that everyone at the moment in United looks lost. I think that club is going to take a long while. I mean, about 10 years ago, the red side of Merseyside, I'm not going to swear, Chris, don't worry, we're going through a similar period. And when they got kind of, back then they had to go through a lot of pain to kind of get where they are now. And I see United going across the same thing.
Yeah.
For a few years of turmoil, setting things up for the future and moving on. I mean, it can take forever as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a United fan. There's also someone in the chat, Chris, who we know, friend of ours, Mr. Stephen Keane. Hi, lads. Very brave land, Chris Watson on without a bleep machine. Now, Stephen's a mutual friend of mine and Chris's, and he happens to be a spud. But we won't hold that against him. He's actually a very, very nice guy.
Oh, come on, Steve.
So it's the Arsenal Social, and we're good. We welcome our friends to this one. So, I'm sure we'll get Steve on another time, which will be entertaining to say the least. Cheers for popping in, Steve.
Is he the chicken end? Is he the chicken end or the other end?
I'm not going to say. He's a friend of mine. At the moment, anyway. At the moment. Neil just added in, it is a toilet. Can't argue with that. And odds on Ten Hag first manager set. They purely can't get rid of him. Surely that would just be an absolute shocker. But you just never ever know. So
sorry, mate. I saw a good one the other day. We were talking about Ten Hag, and I feel sorry. I feel sorry for him because there's these things going around, the memes that are going around. I'm sure you probably got one or two of them about him and Phil Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, so everybody's ripping into Arteta. We had Mustafi and Socrates and all these sort of people kicking around when he first started. Now, that was 2-3 seasons ago. That's where we're at. Man United are exactly the position. Like they're a mid-table team now. They're a mid-table team now with a bucket load of money that they've spent. When Arnautovic and Rabiot are the players that you're looking at. And Arnautovic actually said no. Like, I don't want to go and play there. Like, seriously, you got to look at how far. And Sean and I talked about this. It's not a nice place for. I don't want to see Man United there. But I want to see them really more 11 and 12. Sorry, I shouldn't really know. I don't want to see the turmoil. They got to change things around moving forward. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're not talking about Tottenham. We're not talking about Man United. Obviously, we'll have a little good chat about Everton. That's our favourite at this moment in time.
Loki summed it up for us: a chicken and a basketball for a badge. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Why they changed and rebranded, I don't know. Anyway,
don't we have a mighty cannon that's discharging its where there's this huge cannon there and stuff, and they've got a chicken on the football. That's all I'm saying. So I'm just kind of putting it out.
So listen, there was a game that took place on Friday for Arsenal. There was a game, and I'm not going to go into the game too much because I know you and Sean went over it. Rich, Melvin and Neil went over it on Monday. I'm not going to go in the ins and outs of the game, but what I want to do is from the social aspect, see what people were talking about. So you generally think people would be quite happy. We got a result. Yes, the first 20 minutes were great, and then we petered off a little bit after that 20 minutes. For me, I'm okay with that. We got the result. You can't expect a team first day of the season to be going at it for 90 minutes. You can't.
No.
But we weathered the storm. We got a second goal. We got the result. I was over the moon with that. Palace is a hard game to go to. We've not won there. We lost twice against them last year. It's always a tough ground to go to. The crowd get behind them. So I was more than happy. But one of the players who did get a little bit miffed around it was Mr. Ben White. But I think this guy sums it up. Howland Forever sums it up well. If you think White struggled against Zaha, football probably isn't for you. I agree. I thought Ben White actually had a pretty good game. Like, considering he can obviously play right back. It's obviously not his preferred position, but I think that I would prefer him there than Cedric, who we'll come to a little bit later, my friend Cedric. But I generally thought he'd done pretty well there, so I wasn't too worried about Ben White. And again, Zaha has been a thorn in our side before. He wasn't really in the game. He wasn't the one causing us problems on Friday. It was the defender, wasn't it? Anderson with his balls. He was the one causing problems. So yeah, I'm all right with that. I'm happy with Ben White, and be interesting to see when Tommy's back if White gets back in the central, which I can't really see given the performance of Saliba. But that's again someone who's been talked about enough and for all the right reasons. Then there was this guy I come across on social called "Without that red card, Arsenal would have won the Champions League." That's his full title. He's not happy. Sorry, this is his first one. Where are we going on? Here we go.
I've seen this guy.
All they want, but the reality is he hasn't improved tactically. It's his full season, but he still doesn't know how to set up a team that can outplay his opponents and win comfortably. Palace game looked like a fluke. Shut up. That's all I'm going to say to this guy. I thought we were. I just feel. I mean, I don't like saying shut up to our fellow Arsenal fans, but I don't agree with a word of that. I thought he set up pretty well. We went for it. I think our plan was to kind of go for them early on, score ideally a couple of goals, and literally shut up shop, because they knew that beginning of the season the weather's warm, we wouldn't sustain that 90 minutes. And then in the second half, we did step off them a little bit, but I do think that was also, a plan to let them come at us, weather that storm, get them knackered, and then kind of hit them. And I thought the actual, the plan worked pretty well. But he does go on a little bit, this guy, and it's not just a one-off. I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus struggles to score 20 goals a season. He's not happy. I mean, we've just won 2-0, mate. These are after the game. These are after the game.
So, can you just read that again? I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus struggles to score 20 plus goals.
I mean, as we found out last week, he's never scored over 15 goals in a season. But that's not the point. He didn't really have a decent F1 goal, but he played really well last week and he was making loads of space. It's one game. I don't see where the negativities come from, personally.
So hang on a sec. So I think it was Saka scored 11 goals, was the highest scorer last season. It was 11 goals last season. And this guy's saying, great, this guy's going to have real problems getting 20 goals in the Premier League, like 20 plus goals. That's a problem for him. Yeah, that's a problem for him. So we scored 30 odd goals. I can't remember, it was about 36 goals in total. So this village simpleton is actually turning around and saying, right, honestly, yeah, great. He's going to score, but that's 20 goals. That's about it. That's all we got. Mate, I'll take 20 goals out of Jesus in the Premiership. I'll take that. Every Chelsea, Man City, and everybody else, and the guys in red that we're not allowed to talk about today, they'd take 20 goals out of one of their strikers, and I'd take 11 out of Saka and 7 from Odegaard as he scored, and Emil Smith Rowe had 14, whatever that was. Yeah, okay.
He goes
on. Oh, sorry, my apologies.
Same. I pulled these up in the morning, but it was after the game. What we've seen in the first half, Arteta is the problem, because even with his new players, he hasn't improved tactically. Shut up. Literally, shut up. Whether you agree or not, the first half just exposed Arteta once again. Everyone expected a brilliant and convincing performance. Arteta has done it again. Take that goal away and there's nothing to be hopeful or happy about. Come on, he's Arteta-ing out already. I'm glad Arsenal are leading, but truth of the matter is Arteta hasn't improved tactically. Even with new players, Arteta is still the same. Nothing new. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is kind of stuff that we just won a game. And people
can we send him a therapy, like someone for therapy or something like that?
And then he number. This one. This is after Brighton beat Man United. Same guy. Arsenal should look at Graham Potter as Arteta's replacement. I did reply under the Arsenal show, but hasn't gone yet, mate. Simple as that. Hasn't gone. Leave the guy alone. Like, we're talking a guy who's just won the first game of the season away at Palace, and he really ain't happy. He's slated him. So I don't want fans like that, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it makes me question whether this is actually a troll with stuff like that. But yeah, I hate that kind of stuff. But this is the kind of stuff I have to go through to talk about on this show and air my issues. These were a couple of reactions we kind of have.
I think we do want fans like that, because if not, you wouldn't have a show.
Very true. That is very, very true. So, this is the, kind of reaction to Potter. High standards, but you want Arteta to sack Potter. Ravelli has a 45% win. Yeah, I'll take Potter all day long. This guy kind of agreeing with him. What about Patrick Vieira? I mean, we just beat them. I mean, we'd all love Paddy back, let's be honest. But we're not talking about that right now. And then there was another one by someone called EBL, who actually classes himself as a football analyst, who sent a couple more things as well. I have such a sour taste in my mouth last night over that Arsenal performance. To produce that level of quality in the first 20 minutes before throwing it all away. We won 2-0. How's that throwing it away? Due to shirking responsibility, in and out of possession is unacceptable. And then Xhaka posts that winning feeling. What's wrong with that? We've won a game for me. I mean, come on.
Do you think the Sun's getting to people at the minute? They just get a bit cranky.
It's crazy. We just won a game 2-0, and some people are never happy. I mean, I just don't know where to go. But he goes on. The same guy. He goes on. Players should be fuming over that. To get the win, you're a possession-based team who are meant to control games with the ball and through pressing high. Instead of that, panics in possession and didn't have the braveness to sustain a higher press. They didn't have the fitness to sustain a higher press on a very hot night on the first day of the season. Come on, be realistic.
Do you know what? In 100 years' time, right? What will it show? We were really bad at high press, but we got 3 points. Or will it show that we got 3 points? You know, we got 3 points. That was it. We won. Move on. Like, you know, that's it. Job done. And did I mention that we're playing on Saturday, by the way?
Some of my most satisfying wins are the wins that we scrape and get that lucky win. But I don't think we were lucky. I think we were full credit for our win there. I thought we'd done enough to comfortably win the game. We should have scored more goals, yeah, but that will come. And I don't see any reason to be any negative. Like, Arteta likely went psycho at this yesterday. It was no different to Everton away last season, as Chris will know, except Arsenal now had the quality to reliably keep the ball and physicality to reliably press. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not having it. And then, thankfully, some people actually agree with him. I think they just want to shut him up. Forget the fact that Arsenal won. The performance didn't warrant a win. Palace had 69% of the ball in the second half. Yes, the second half, mate. We were already 1-up and we had control of the game. I'm not worried about that. Palace, I mean, they troubled us a couple of times. Ramsdale made a couple of good saves. I'm with that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, we defended pretty well. Palace did have possession. We kind of let them. And we got the goal and we needed it. And the game was done. Once we got the second goal, it was done. Palace didn't threaten. I'm happy with that. But then Arsenalism agrees. Same here. Can't enjoy the win as much after looking back at our performance. You're just getting brainwashed by EBL Arsenalism. Don't take no notice. Like, not sure if dramatic takes like this are helpful. Arsenal are excellent. Thank you, Sabir AFC. He's saying it. He's sticking up for it, and I'm all for that. And then just a couple more reactions to that. How is Arsenal seeing out the game, winning 2-0, throwing it all away? Exactly. Spot on. Massively owing doing this, in my opinion. Honestly, sick of people feigning disappointment to have a dig. Completely get it. I'm so glad that the majority of fans actually see through it. But this is the kind of stuff that is out there, which worries me a little bit, because these are so-called Arsenal fans or so-called football analysts who this guy might be getting paid, which is really worrying. You know,
if he's getting paid, let's get him on the show. Let's get him on. Like, on any of the shows, let's get this guy on. If he's an analyst, let's get this guy on, because the statistics. So look, the bottom line is we've got a great goalie. Did a really, really good. He saved like some goals that some shots on goal that really should have gone in. Blah 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 blah. So there's 101 pieces that are going to go on with Crystal Palace, right? You know, and you can look at their insane lead up, their pre-season and all that. But that is a very, very difficult team. Zaha is absolute nightmare to try and defend against, right? Mm-hmm. You know, Saliba was a Rolls Royce in there. You know, all the guys. We've talked about this over and over again. So get a life. Go back to whatever village you're in, because they're crying out for their idiot because it's on Twitter at this moment in time, and actually deal with it. You know, we won. We got 3 points, guys. We're second in the league. Just bask in that glory, because come Saturday, there's 60,000 of us going to be going absolutely mental the minute they step on there. Stuff. So it just, I know, Chris, is it the same? Is it the same for you when you're at Everton? Do you hear this same nonsense?
Sadly, yeah. We can obviously seldom win a game, but when we do, there's always detractors and people saying, "Oh, we didn't do this, we did that, we did the other," and it's frankly depressing. Do you know what I mean? Take the win. In whatever shape that becomes, just take the win and move on, and that's my mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It's like a win's a win, no matter how you get it. It's lovely to win 4, 5, 6-0, but sometimes you've got to go away to Palace on a Friday night when Sky want you to lose and get a result. For me, what it's about is doing it.
Palace is a tough gig.
Yeah,
you know, it really is, and to go there, particularly, dare I say it, on day one, and get a result is even bigger again. You know what I mean? Because the crowd's up, it's a full house. They've got nothing to lose. The place be rocking. So to go there and get a result, I think is massive. By the way,
yes,
I was tough. Yeah. I was tough because it's a potential banana skin, and just to get through that, get that first win is massive. Yeah, no matter how you do it, you get that win.
All day long, mate. All day long.
A few little comments in the chat here, which Loki's. It was just a little bit about Everton here, about your long tenure turnaround too, from Sean. Loki's put a great little comment here, which made me chuckle. The Arsenal should be traditional. We shouldn't start to lose until November at least. Yeah, that's our way. Traditionally, that is our way, and I love that. Neil agrees with it too. November was always a horrible month. It probably still will be, let's be honest, but it was always nice that we used to win up until then and then just have a dodgy. And I agree with Neil here. Sabir is a good bloke. He is. He knows it.
The other flip to it is that you saw Gary Neville go a little bit quiet when Welbeck was the best player on the on the pitch, and absolutely bound. Oh, Gary! Oh, didn't really hear very much out of him. Very, very quiet. Then his punditry kind of fell out. Let's all beat up on Arsenal. Let's all beat up on Arsenal. And then all of a sudden, kind of goes really quiet. Martinez. Yeah, we talked about Martinez and the great. Martinez was going to save everybody, and he was going to be absolutely brilliant. And then it was a bit rubbish, really.
Exactly. A couple more comments in here. I try not to let it worry me. I mean, to be fair, if he weren't putting it, I couldn't talk about nothing tonight. We'd just be sitting here drinking wine and getting drunk, which will probably happen one week as well. To be fair, let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's another little comment again from Loki. Saliba plays like a laid-back Carnan. It's good. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. He didn't look under pressure at all, Saliba. Again, all the shows this week have mentioned Saliba, and he was fantastic. And I just can't wait to see how he goes from here. Yes, Loki. I'm hearing an owl. Sheffield Wednesday about. Yeah, was that? Is that you outside there, Steve, with an owl going on?
What's that, mate? What have I done now?
Going on. Is that you?
It's not an owl. That's probably the cats and dogs. I'm just going to say, Chris, mate, listen. The way we were formation drinking our wine then, when Everton come to the Emirates, mate, I've got a seat straight for you. I've got a seat straight. You're going to have to come and sit at our end, but I'm telling you, mate, you can come and stay with us. It's not a problem. We've got it sorted. I'm taking you.
I look forward to that.
You've got a bed at mine any day, Chris. You know that. So listen, before I move on to some more fun stuff, there was one more annoying so-called Arsenal fan that I want to kind of point out today. I don't like making a habit of our fans because I think generally we're a good fan base. But I come across a guy called Arseonomics, okay? And I think his profile picture says a lot about him. His profile picture. Generational. I mean, it's basically Hitler. Let's be honest.
Is that Adolf Hitler? Is that Adolf Hitler? Is it? I'm just looking at that. I haven't got my computer glasses on, but that's Adolf Hitler, isn't it?
It's a Hitler moustache and hair over Mikel Arteta.
Or is it that guy, the Sparks? Remember the Sparks in the 80s?
Yeah.
Two brothers, they had the little moustaches.
This one's good, right? Because this is on the Friday before 21:20. So, I don't know what time's basically. This is on Friday before the Palace game. Generational Mikel has not prepared the team to face Palace. And then he went on to say, Mikel is simply the worst coach in the Premier League. That was 6 minutes later. Okay, he's not happy. Thankfully, Samantha underneath replied with that little "be quiet." Big up, Samantha. Well done. But then the next day, which is the next day on the 6th, look what the same person goes and puts. Mikel Arteta is simply a generational coach. Nobody comes close to his ability. I might have said bad things about him, but this doesn't change the fact that he is simply world class and has changed football. And underneath Catalyst 123 has kindly pointed out what he put the day before. I don't need people like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Oh my God. So he takes an 80s pop band face, puts it on, slags him off, then doesn't slag him off, and they just kind of, this is really
tonight,
good. This is just good.
Tonight, just before the show, I didn't have time to get them loaded up. He's come out tonight with a few corkers that I'll share next week. I think he could be another king. That's all I'm saying. I think this guy could
ask him. We need him on. We need him on.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we have to deal with, Chris. I'm sure you've got some fans like that as well. But back to the players. I don't know if you have this, Chris, but our players are men of the people, men of the fans. They want a load of fans. They welcome up. Last week we had players who were giving them links to to watch the game. They were opening their WhatsApp chats to them. We have got some fantastic players. So I want to kind of just share what's been going on with, I think, one of the more prevalent of the players this season is our Fabio Vieira, who hasn't even touched the ball yet, but he's back in full training. So Fabio, this is starting from the Crystal Palace game and working through the week. First of all, match day, Selhurst Park, kick-off time 8 p.m. Cheers, Fabio. Thanks for reminding us. And in case we didn't know, really appreciate that. Nice one. The next, Fabio, we got a couple of little comments. What we got? Can't wait to see you playing Fab today. Please play well. Don't give them room, especially Welfra Zaha. Welfra Zaha, very well-known Palace player.
Famous Welfra.
Welfra Zaha. Then obviously we've got the good lucks. And then at the bottom one by Big Boy Wizzy. Why do you always look innocent? Let me remind you that you are here to play a very difficult league. I'm sure Fabio liked that one and he said, in the change room, he's probably saying, look, as this big boy's got hold of me, he's just reminding me that I'm here to play a very difficult league. I'm all right now. I'm focused, boys. I'm focused. Thanks for pointing that out. Here's another one from Fabio in the week.
Hello. Hello, Cheeky. Hello, Cheeky. What's going on here?
It's quite a lot of these around, actually, with Fabio. He likes to post pictures of him and his missus doing stuff. Not more than that, to be honest with you. But, he's sharing. He's in love. He's in London. He's 21 years old. He's signed for a big club. He's got a big fee.
He's a millionaire.
He's happy.
He's a millionaire. It's hot. It's hotter here than it is in Portugal, that's for sure.
Let him be happy. You'd think people would be happy for him, wouldn't you? You'd think they'd be like, oh, that's great. No.
Oh, come on. Why wouldn't you be?
Especially not
young love in London. Oh my Lord, nothing better.
A needier song does not agree. No, you're only kissing since you signed for us. Get healed first before you start. Ta 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 ta. Allow your injury to heal fast. Stay away from ta 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 ta.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I spent most of my young youthful career looking for the ta 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 ta. If I'm honest with you, Adam, mate. So.
He's 21. Let him. If he's not going to do it now, when is he?
Yeah.
Now's the time. He's injured. What else is he going to do? All I see since he signed Arsenal is kissing work for your fitness first. Arsenal should loan you to Marseille. Marseille are now where we loan our players, apparently.
Wow. Okay. Used to be West Ham that we used to sell everybody to, didn't it?
And then on the AFA, instead of working on your fitness, you are here kissing girls. I mean, fair enough. I mean, it goes on. No one's happy about this. That's all. This can't make you fit, bro. Well, it probably can. Stop all this and play for us. Man, we brought you to play football, not hanging and kissing around the street. So this guy, he only knows how to kiss without any positive results. How do you know it's not positive? You don't know where this kiss has gotten the boy. I would say that him posting it is a sign that it's got positive results. Fair play. Be careful, bro. Before they will accuse you too, we already have enough problem, which we're not going to talk about.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah,
we are a positive show.
Fucking
on this one, I think you said you're injured. I mean, yeah. Why can't he go for a walk in London? To be fair, So what are you doing with a woman? Like Arsenal signed Minister of Women Affairs, not a player. I didn't know that was a title. A Minister of Women Affairs.
I know Arsenal going into this sort of biblical way, but I didn't realise that the players had to be monastical in the way that they do it with a vow of chastity that kind of goes, they are actually allowed to see people, hold on, and maybe snog the missus every now and again just to keep her quiet. That's the, that's me being sexist again, so my apologies for that.
I think day on day off, Steve.
Only
Chris, they're not allowed to have a day off.
Wow, true love. So they're okay with it.
They're okay with it. Yeah, they're okay with it. True love. You're kissing your missus on the embankment looking over a bloody Westminster Bridge. For God's sake, get over yourself. Let's just have some of that, mate. Hold her around. Take her for a little McDonald's. Get her the extra large. Go with the little frappe on there. Don't mess about. Play big bucks. Pay the money.
You would think... I'm trying to get a nice layout so we can all see each other here. It's not quite working. So... Fabio weren't taking this though. He was not taking it at all. He was thinking. He's obviously looked at this and thinking, "I can't do nothing to please these fans." To be fair, Fabio, wait until you start playing. You ain't even had a kick of the ball yet. So he did come back. To be fair, he did come back, and I like his fighting spirit. And if he shows this fighting spirit on the pitch, I'm well happy for him. He says, "I'm not here to model for everybody in comments. I'm here to be the best. Now you will see me play. Let's go." I like that, Fabio. Fight and talk. And people agree. Better. We have seen enough of that modelling. Show us the stuff you're made of. Be yourself and better in position. What
Wow.
position? I've only seen him kissing. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know what position. I don't want to know. We're not allowed to. This is a family show, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then it goes on. It goes on a little bit. Leicester City FC. Sorry for you boys because Vieira is here and Smith is back as well. I'm eagerly waiting to see you play. I just loved you from the first day at Emirates Stadium. This is the bit what gets me. I will use those pics you have posted as my WhatsApp profile pics. What? Kissing his missus? That's a little bit weird.
Okay, that's a little bit. We've just gone weird in a Netflix kind of mini-series kind of way there.
I mean, if I was following Moabesa Herbert, I probably wouldn't be anymore, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
That concerns me a little bit. But then Fabio has literally had enough. You could see that after posting that, he was thinking, I'm drawing a line under it. I'm moving on.
Mediterranean.
He still gets this back from the fans. He's had it this time. Focused on my goals. Enough bullshit in comments. Enough bullshit in comments.
Yeah, exactly. Fabio's got it. He knows what's going on. He knows. He's got that Mediterranean anger. He's got he's got that Mediterranean passion. But there is a line. There's just a line that he draws. That's it. Back off with your bullshit in comments. That's it. That's what he's saying. I'm feeling that right now.
Would you feel that people generally be happy about that? You would think, but no, not for Abdullah Hussaini.
Oh, come on, Abdullah.
With due respect, your statement is unprofessional. Pride kills. It means you don't accept criticism, which is very bad as a player. Criticism of virtue for advancement. Gunner, ya gunners. Great. I couldn't let this one go personally. I don't usually comment on these. I usually just look at what's going on. And I couldn't go on. So I commented as myself, to that one underneath. Abdullah Hussaini, with due respect, this isn't Fabio Vieira, but you entertain me nonetheless. Just to point out. I felt enough had gone by. I felt that was some 12-year-old in Vietnam, in his pants.
Eating cheesy Wotsits. He's got yellow fingers from eating cheesy Wotsits as he's doing that. Yeah.
So that's been Fabio's week, or fake Fabio, whichever you want to call it. That's been his week. We get a lot of that. So before I move on, right, I don't want to we are dragging the show along tonight, but it's going quite well. I'm quite enjoying the chat. So there's one thing interesting this week. I found another of our players on socials this week, and it was.
Oh, get in there! Come on,
Cedric Soares.
Oh, there he is. Handsome. Another Portuguese player as well. Come on.
What's the difference between this profile from the others we've seen? Straight away, what's the difference?
He's got the black top on.
No, he's got a blue tick, which means this is Cedric Soares.
You're kidding me.
No, if they have got on Facebook the blue tick, that actually means it is an official account. I dare say it's not managed by him. It's probably managed by someone else. His agents or whatever. But it is officially him. So hopefully now, I'm sure that all these people are watching, so why wouldn't they be? You can see who's fake and who's not real. It won't stop me from following the fakes because it's where the entertainment value is. But this is Cedric Soares, right?
Get in there, Cedric.
I'm very excited for the new season. We'll give everything to make Gunner proud. Come on, you Gunners. Cheers, Cedric. I mean, let's be honest. He's not the greatest player, but I don't really know anyone who hates him. He's an okay guy.
He's getting sold. He's getting sold in the next couple of weeks. That's it. He's out of here.
But that was a fairly innocent tweet on Facebook.
Yeah.
Fairly innocent post, yeah. You would think that some of the Arsenal fans would really appreciate it, but no. Mutaganda Shepherd, straight off the bat, you're not good enough. The only mediocre remaining at the Emirates. Come on, This is his real profile as well. This is going to cut serious improvement. Imagine having you as a natural right back in our team, then we had no other choice but to play Ben White as a makeshift right back because of your inefficiency. But fair enough, Usman and Prince Joseph come back with good luck. We're proudly going as good luck Arsenal for life. I don't think,
Hang on a sec. Let's just go back a couple of dials on that one. So since he's played for Arsenal as a right back, he's got back into the Portuguese team.
Yeah, and he's been an ever-present.
So he's been playing for Portugal. What do they want? They want Mbappe or something. They want a sort of right-winged Mbappe to sit there and actually do that. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously? Oh, God, come on. Behave yourself, you boys. You're so naughty.
Some of these ones are okay. I mean, the first one, but that is you last season. Lost control of the ball. We lost to Palace to be strong. Other than that, good luck. I like to see there's a little bit more positivity in this one. The next guy, Sam and Bobby, has forgot about Tommy completely. Unfortunately, Ben White is our right back because central defence is for Saliba and Big Gab. What about Tommy? You're forgetting Tommy there. I mean, we had Tommy on last week. You know,
mate, Tommy's the man.
You're gone. All the best for the new season. I need your jersey,
mate. I think by and large, football fans are
idiots.
So fickle and so irregular. I mean, we have the same thing with Calvert-Lewin. And he goes out injured. The next thing he's on the front cover of Vogue. And it was, a fucking faggot.
Yeah, you've got some weird players, Chris.
Stop wearing pajamas in photo shoots and all that. It's like the guy's injured. He can't play. You know what I mean? He's making money elsewhere. Stop trolling him. You know what I mean?
He's allowed to walk around. He's allowed to wear clothes. You know, and he's and trust me, if I had a six-pack like Calvert-Lewin and I was built like Calvert-Lewin, I'd be strutting around in a G-string. Seriously.
No one wants to see that.
Hold on, mate. As you say, he's allowed to walk around and wear clothes. Yeah, clearly his choice of clothes is dubious, but, he's being paid handsomely for it. He can't train. Leave him alone.
Yeah. I'd be doing the Henri knee slides in a G-string if I had a body like him everywhere I went. Honestly,
I'm not don't know that image.
I want to show you about Cedric because I do feel for Cedric. I've never had anything madly against him. I see him as a good backup player and a good squad player.
Brilliant squad player.
Fans are so fickle, man. So fickle.
Nashon Omyangu. So you mean you are still in Arsenal jersey? You are truly serving the living God. Now, kindly improve for you to be a true Gunners. We don't need joy riders. We do not celebrate mediocrity. I mean, Labo Asman, we do not celebrate mediocrity. I mean, to be fair, we have done for quite a few years. I don't know where he's been watching. You should have gone on loan. I really doubt if you are a defender. He's questioning his job now. He's questioning his job. I don't know what this guy does, but you shouldn't be questioning. Good luck. I like that. That's fine. We're happy with that. And then to finish off, the top one makes me laugh the most. You need to isolate and stay at home. So basically, he wants him to get COVID. That's lovely.
Oh my God! Like seriously. Do these people not realise that this whole business model around Arsenal is built on mediocrity? It's not built on winning the Champions League. It's built on getting into the Champions League. Yeah. Right. That's what the Cronkies want. Like, if we can get through the group stages and maybe get to like a quarter final, that's absolutely brilliant for them. Like, that's it. But the fact of the matter is, they're not going. I know they've invested a lot of money and the team needed it, but they're not going to invest I think it's 1.5 billion that we've seen go into Man City, and they haven't even managed to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like I think fans need to actually take a reset and actually need to understand that this is about business now. It's not about the old days when we were all really fun and we'd sit on the sidelines and enjoy and these people were personable. We're talking about teenage millionaires here. Exactly. It's teenage millionaires, with the egos that go with it. And you can see with Aubameyang, 6 months at Barcelona, and they're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to get rid of him to Chelsea. So I find it incredible. How can they say that to Cedric? It's like kicking a puppy, mate. It's like kicking a puppy.
Before I go on to some more fun stuff, I just want to go through the comments. Colonel has been on fire tonight. He's had some great comments on there. Neil's obviously on
always.
Fire. Loki has come out. Loki, I think, is on fire tonight. He's come out with an absolute classic here. Palace is a hard place to be, like being in a hospital bed with Jimmy Savile as an orderly on call.
Yeah, where'd you go from that? Where? I reckon Loki's got to do the team chats. He's got to go in. He's got to be doing the forget the brain and this is my family. This is brain. This is where we're at. This is 11 out of 10. All that. I'm getting Loki in there straight up. He's going to do the team talks, and you're going to see everybody run like no one's.
If Loki's still in the chat, please message me. We'll get you on next week. I can't wait. It'll be absolutely hilarious. Just messing. It doesn't matter. We're all friends. Neil says, what is wrong with these people? Seriously, I really don't know, but also I quite enjoy it.
it's good fun. It's good fun.
Loki said, Chris, Everton, my top 3 away games. Goodison Park is a great ground to go to, I admit.
Yeah.
Not been for a few years, but I've been a couple of times. Absolutely love it. Neil, I'm looking forward to seeing Fabio play. To be honest with you, I really, from what I don't pretend to know much about him, but from what I have seen, he looks like he could be a real star. I'm assuming that's pointing out to his very attractive lady.
Yes,
yeah.
Agreed.
Does look like he's scored already, probably more than one. He does, as long as he performs sexy to start on the pitch. Each to their own, Neil. Each to their own. Fabio's hips and back must be good. Let's hope so. I think it's more his knees that are the problem. That's what I've heard. Good luck, Fabio. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Neil, but I'll say thank you for that one. We got, to be honest, he didn't do too bad when covered for. No, I thought he did all right. I thought Cedric done all right. I thought it was an adequate replacement. Also, see Tierney linked with City. Do you think we should consider? So I saw that as well, actually. Because I think that it's more of a case of everyone knows that City are in the market for a left back, so they're going to link any left back with City. I don't think he will go to City personally, but that's just me. I just think that when that happens, everyone will get linked. Cedric's wife is the best. James, I'm with you on that one, definitely. She is a very attractive lady. Real football fans love football, not winning, and I agree completely, Sean. I'm with that one. I think that Melvin and Steve last night covered that fans go for the experience in the football, not just about the winning. Definitely. Luca, nice to see you in the chat. How you doing?
Guys, I got to drop off as a call there.
All right, mate, no problems. I'll catch up with you soon. Yeah, Chris, thanks for coming on.
Chris, you're a legend, mate. Nice to meet you, mate.
Make sure you watch this back, because I added some Everton things in just for you. So I'm still going to show them. Make sure you watch it back.
All right, lads. Cheers, lad.
Cheers,
Steve.
So,
safe on, mate.
I'm going to get us back on track, and I'm going to just cover up the rest of the show. I've got a few things I want to cover. So, one thing before we move on. Obviously, there's all these fake profiles that would come about on socials, etc.
I love them.
So what I've started is a bit of an experiment. I've created a player page on Facebook.
Get in there.
I'm not going to tell you who it is, though, because I've only recently created it, and it needs to get a bit of traction first. I don't want to influence anything. I want to try it grow, but it's on Facebook, and it's under a sports person, as they all put, and it is an Arsenal player, and I want to see what happens. I've already had about a dozen people or so last time I checked, which was early this morning, who are following me and liking my pictures in training, that I've been training hard. I'm looking forward to Leicester this weekend. Can't wait, So as the weeks go by, I will definitely share those with you. Last week, we met a person called the King Solly. Do you remember him, Steve?
Mate, he was ledge. He was absolutely ledge.
So
what's the King be doing?
I reached out to him. I couldn't DM him, but I reached out on Twitter and I said, look, love to connect. Be good if we can have a chat. And he said, sure, no problem, mate. Very friendly. Still hasn't connected. So, So
I'm following him. I'm actually following him.
Yeah, I'm following him too. So you would have seen my tweet to him, actually. So I'm going to try again. He was very open to it. Yeah, let's have a chat, whatever. He hasn't responded. He hasn't followed me yet, so I can't DM him. But I'm not going to leave it at that. But to be fair, the King's not been, I would say, as top form as last week. But he has still been on. He has still got a few things we want to show. So first of all, is Arsenal were the biggest he/him brigade in football. I don't know why he's got that from this picture. I'm sure he's talking about, the way that people present themselves nowadays.
Okay.
I don't know where quite he's coming from, but it was one that kind of showed up.
Bless him.
If Saliba is compared to Romero by the end of the season, then he'll have fouled in the Prem. Arsenal think they are so much better than they are. It's so embarrassing. The kid's profile says 21, so pretty much all he knows is Spurs finishing above Arsenal, yet he speaks like he was around during the Invincibles era. Have some shame.
Yeah.
I kind of see this on both angles, because Romero ain't a bad defender, although he literally nearly killed that Southampton guy the other day. That was an atrocious tackle. And I think that personally, I think Saliba's got the potential to go above Romero. But I am still saying Romero's a good player. But
mate, hang on a sec. Hang on. Let's just wind this back a bit. So again, we talk about Harry Kane and Son, absolutely amazing combination, and they are, but they've won 0. There's nothing. They haven't won anything. So yeah, I kind of get where he's going, and yeah, you finished above us. That's absolutely brilliant. But do you know what I mean? Second is the first loser, as always said. No history, no class, never ever going to be it. Chicken on the football, mate. Chicken on the football. But keep going. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I get you. I think he obviously, the thing that gets me the most about King Solly, he's a little bit obsessed with Arsenal. Most of the people he follows, if you look at it, are Arsenal fans. Hence the next
Yeah.
one as well. People actually think Saka is better than Kulusevski. Now, to be honest with you, Kulusevski looks quite good from what I've seen. He looks a decent winger. But I would say at the moment, proven in the Premier League, why wouldn't you think Saka is better? You know, he's done it more on a regular basis now. In 2 years' time, that might change. But this is just to point out how obsessed he is with Arsenal.
Yes.
He's overly obsessed. If you look through his tweets now, see most of his tweets are either slagging down Spurs fans, trying to fight Spurs fans, or goading Arsenal. Those are pretty much what he goes to. There's not a lot of real encouragement, I would say, around his tweets. But the last one, I actually found myself agreeing with the last tweet from him this week. It's quite a quiet week. This is a player that Spurs were being linked with, Ndogi. And the guy he's referring to is the tweet was, we're replacing an 86 rated left back with a 64 rated one. What is Levy thinking? This guy bases football knowledge on a video game. I'm with him on this. I've seen so much of this going around where people are basing their knowledge on FIFA or Football Manager. And it astounds me. Have you seen this as well?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And I there's no real context here. I mean, like, I have a bit of a go sometimes at my oldest son because he does love his football, but he can't sit through a game. He hasn't got that, ability to yet. When I take him to a match, he loves it. He loves it. It's great. But at home, he can't sit and watch football. Yet he's got all the opinions in the world about players, why they're good. And he'll come up to me and he'll say, oh, do you think so-and-so's a good player? And I think, well, he's all right. No, he's rubbish. And I was like, oh, have you seen him play? No, but he's 70 rated on FIFA. It's like, you can't judge your reality on this. And that's a child, so you let it go. But there's adults out there who are doing this. There's adults out there who are saying that players are rubbish based on their FIFA rankings. This is real. This is a concern.
But the other one, I think I might have sent you one of the tweets that I saw. It's from a Man United, it's a Man United fan that turned around and said, putting it out there that I've forgotten his name now, because I'm a bottle of wine in. I'm trying to remember the name of the Martinez. He turned around and he said, Martinez possibly the best central defender in the whole of Europe right now. Putting it out there.
Yeah.
So I sort of went a little bit quiet there. I think we need to get him on the show. I think we need to. I follow him now just for the fact that it's just sheer comedic value based on stuff like that. But
this is one of the
what
things,
can you say?
This is one of the things where, like, listening to Melvin's show last night, there was none of this in those days. You took things for face value. You had an opinion on what you knew, and if you didn't have an opinion, you just said, "I don't know enough about it. I'll move on." Everyone's got an opinion now, and a lot of it is wrong. And that does frustrate me when you get people who are talking about stuff. And if you listen to people, they literally must be watching football 24/7 to have an opinion on all these players. So you've got to take it all as a pinch of salt. But yeah, the whole FIFA stuff does really drive me nuts because people having these massive opinions. Oh, I'm signing a great player. It was like Football Manager. Like, do you remember Kim Kallstrom when we signed him? People were raving about him because he was great on Football Manager. He turned out.
Then he broke his. Then he broke one of his vertebrae, and that was it. He did like one game, and that was about it.
Scored a penalty in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and that was about it. But that's the kind of stuff that we kind of, in the world we live in. And I suppose it is the kind of social stuff that we do kind of look at now and love. So,
I've seen, and I've Adam, I've sent you some. Sorry, I've seen some absolutely disgusting stuff that's been put around about Arteta. That we sit with it. But the fact of the matter is the people that listen to this podcast and the fans that turn up absolutely love our football team. We love what we do. We love the fact, when 60,000 people go bananas when we score. And yes, we get upset when we lose. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And that's part of human nature. But you know what? For me, there is nothing better than the when I drive up. So I drive up from my house. There's nothing there. There's that little walk that I do. And we go under the bridge by the cannons and stuff. And you hear Red Army for the first time because no one can say it. And all scream at the top of your lungs. And you hear Red Army for the first time. And then you kind of know you're home. And that, to me, is what makes it so special. It brings the hairs up on my arms. It makes me feel really excited about being an Arsenal fan. and it's expensive. It costs us a bloody fortune. It's a pain in the ass to get to. It's a pain in the ass to come away from. But oh my god, when we score a goal, when we win, when we get 3 points, there is nothing more special to me in my life than that. And social media, I think, is just a window into just the lunacy that we have around us. And then there are some idiots. There's some absolute idiots.
It does worry me.
Mate, the roundabout. How many times you sit on a roundabout, you see all the sky cameras and everything on, that mini roundabout where the cannons are, where the ticket office is. How many times have you seen film cameras there and idiots turning up and go, yeah, it's all a bit shit, but you won 5-0. Yeah, it's a bit rubbish because, this guy, so-and-so didn't drink his water bottle correctly or whatever it happens to be.
It's a joke.
It's a cataclysm. It's just a sort of, a whole thing of it. Everybody goes, but, mate, Saturday, come on! Saturday, it's happening. It's going to be Brazilian level weather, right? We're going to have everybody called Gabriel. I've never seen so many Gabriels in one team in all my days. So I'm not even going to forget the names. We're going to go out there and we're going to absolutely just go. I just think it's going to be an absolutely brilliant game on Saturday. I really do.
As I said to you earlier, I was due to be going. I have a season ticket, but I can't go this Saturday. Very gutted. As I mentioned to you before the show, the reasons I can't go are absolutely fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I will be still watching it. I've got a way of watching live for 3 p.m. kickoffs, which I'm sure other people have as well. So I'll still be tuning in. But yeah, I do feel like I'm going to miss out on something, but I can't wait as well. Before we end, I've got a few things, a few funny things that I've seen throughout the week that I want to share. And then obviously ending with our what's hot and what's not section. So I'll breeze through these quickly. So remember last week we mentioned about the Southend Rose West stand. And I mentioned about the Jurgen Klopp keyring with. So I thought I'd share that for those who haven't seen it.
Slightly inappropriate. I love it. It looks more like who's it? Harold Shipman, if I'm honest with you. The Harold Shipman keyboard, the keyring.
That is genuine. It's been. I mean, that was a while ago, but I don't even become aware of it through the Southend Rose West thing. I just think that's brilliant. How they said in that, I don't know. There was also a really funny tweet around the player that Nottingham Forest were linked with. I don't know if you heard about this guy, but this made me laugh. Nottingham Forest trying to sign Dutch striker Giz Hornkamp from Willem II.
Yeah, you can.
Will not be able to
thrusting through the defence. Giz Hornkamp. He just.
It's just that. That's like really clean sheets. I love stuff like that. That's the stuff.
That's like one of them Facebook things. It's like, what's your sort of adult entertainment name? Giz Hornkamp.
I love it. It just cracks me up. And then there was this one that I don't use. This is the second kind of Hitler themed one we've had. I'm not obsessed with Hitler. It just so happens it's coming the same week. Breaking BBC journalist Tyler Hallow said Hitler was right. In what context? What context would make what she said excusable? If Hitler said that Spurs were the smallest team in London, love
that. Get them on. We need to get that. We need to get them on.
That really made me tickle. There's not many people who can turn Hitler into a positive, but I quite like that. That was very, very funny. So I'm going to go through some of the comments before we go into the what's hot, what's not. I just put in there from James what he said about the football games, and I'm with you. Don't use football games as a judge until Jorginho was one of the best players in Pro Evo. Yeah, he was, but he didn't really replicate itself, did it? Loki earlier put City had just bought a left back. Neil, Chris was great. Yeah, I definitely get Chris on as well. He's welcome anytime. Yeah. Definitely play Everton.
I'm going drinking with Chris. I'm telling you.
He's a great guy to go drinking with. We've done it many, many times. Did you guys see Yellow Bar and Sky Sports News earlier after Palace? The boogeyman checks his closet for Willie Saliba at night. No, I didn't see that, but that sounds amazing. He was great, to be honest, Saliba, wasn't he? And leading on from the football games, Colonel Ward, I agree because Sonogo is better than Kane, but FIFA don't rate him. Yes, strange.
Odd that. How we can't.
Sensible Soccer. God, I remember that. That was a brilliant game. That was before FIFA and stuff. I remember playing that. That was a superb game. That's made me proper nostalgic, that. The chicken and the badge comes from the local Spudge staging cockfighting on the site before the ground. classless scum forever. I mean, I find that hard to disagree with. Kickoff free. It is a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday.
Oh my God, Adam, let me just say, mate. And I got, by the way, I'm going to put a shout out to Basingstoke FC because Sean, actually, who does the show with me, writes and puts together the most amazing programs. So for Basingstoke, so I'm going to put a shout out. But we drive up from Basingstoke, and I love the 3 o'clock kickoff. I'll tell you for why. Because I listened to the first game. I listened to the 12 o'clock. Right. I get to park my car up. I go and watch our amazing football team and get really excited. And then on the way back, I get my £3 meal deal, and I'm from the Venerable supermarket, and I listen to the 5 o'clock go back. So I am so excited for a Saturday of football, mate.
And Saturday 3 o'clock is the best. It really is.
Isn't it just? So I've got cider now. I've run out of wine. My apologies.
Neil just said, following on from your chat about going to the game, nothing like it. And I agree. I still say Highbury has the best atmosphere. I do.
For sure.
Library, but for me, Highbury, I mean, obviously, when I started going to Arsenal, I think I got my first. I went to Arsenal first in '87. I got my season ticket in '89. I've had a season ticket, luckily enough, ever since through Highbury in the Emirates. And I miss Highbury every time. My missus doesn't come to football often, and she's been to both Highbury and the Emirates. And she even said she wished that she could go back to Highbury. The atmosphere is like when I just thought they were second to none.
All the more reason to listen to Melvin. Like that is one of the things I have to say.
James put the difference in clock needles makes people better. Shipments didn't. Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So listen,
behave you lot.
The show's been a bit longer than I planned tonight. We've had a lot to go through, and it's been enjoyable, and it's been great. But I want to just finish on the older, the what's hot and what's not. So
let's do it.
What's hot this week? There's a couple of things I picked out that I like the look of. One, I've got to pay homage Palace. I thought Palace done a really good job with this at the weekend. I thought when I saw that on the telly, I thought fair play. I think they've got a good set of fans. They've got a real good, their supporters trust does a really good job. I've got a friend of mine who I was trying to get on last week, who's in their supporters trust, and it tells me a lot of stuff they do. I thought that was fantastic. So well played.
But Adam, the best part of that though, and I love it, and I think the whole thing was great. We still beat them. That's all I'm saying. It's still 3 points. We still beat them. Get over it.
I probably wouldn't have put that with us. I would have been really bitter. And now I can go back and say, that was good, and I think it was good. So fair play to them there. Then we had this, which I love. This is the kind of stuff I love. If Luke Hammond scores and Colchester United win, I'll get his name tattooed on my arse. Says Chris. You know what wants to happen? Ipswich nil.
Let's message. Where's Chris? Come on, we need Chris on there.
I've followed him already to see what the outcome is. But this is the kind of thing I really love. I just love that. I mean, I was quite gutted because I had Ipswich in my accumulator and they're the only team to let me down. But for that reason only, I really hope that happens. The next one actually come from Chris. Chris, who's left the show now, but hopefully he'll tune in later. This is something that he sent me that I absolutely loved. It's a Chelsea fan who posted on the way up to the ground on Saturday. Everton away with not one, not two, but 3 badges. I don't quite know if this is the real Tom Davis. I'm assuming not, but you never know with Facebook these days. You never know.
No, you don't, do you?
I think he's looking at the old Rockport badges. It's not Rockport, Stone Island badges. Bless
him.
And this was a little bit later. Chelsea fan at Everton. Yeah. So it went from Bosch to Bosch. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't beat class, can you? Can't beat class. Bet his mum's so proud of him.
That's my what's not for this week. I just love that kind of thing. And there's one more thing I wanted to sort of talk about this week. And it's something you shared, which made me laugh, Steve, which is this one. Saw someone saying Patino is setting the place on fire at Blackburn, that he's probably the best player in their history. Had to point out that a chap called Stan Matthews, who was quite good. Obviously an age thing. Again, this goes back to the kind of FIFA ratings type thing that I think is a lot of things wrong. Yes, there are young fans out there and they will only talk about the stuff they know, but you've got to at least know a bit of history about your club. And especially a player like Stanley Matthews, who is renowned, not just renowned in this country or in that part of the world.
Everyone knows him.
Everyone knows that name. And that just, when you sent that to me, that made me chuckle. Obviously, you sent me a couple of other things, but I want to stay on the positive. I don't want to go down the dark.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there'll be a time in season for that when we can really go on the dark arts of of Twitter and Facebook. But for now, I want to kind of concentrate on the positive. But that kind of it sums up that kids who are watching football these days, they don't think of life before the Premier League. They just see what's in front of them now.
And he's so Patina is a great example. It's a Smith Rowe Huddersfield kind of thing. And I think I said he went to Hull, but it's not. It's not Hull. So it's Blackpool. Sorry, my apologies for that. But you know what? I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Arsenal where we are right now. Well, we are now at that point. We're now at that area. There is an expectation within the fans. And, I was thinking about what you were saying, a couple of things. And I remember walking from the Arsenal train station before I actually got my season ticket. I'm going to put it out there. I used to have somebody else's season ticket that I paid. He lived in Bournemouth. Good old friend of mine. And it used to be just me. I used to go. And it was a great escape from work, life, and everything else that I do. And I remember seeing this big banner that said, "In Wenger we rust." As everybody was, do you remember the sort of, they're all going on about Arsene Wenger that goes through, and it's the same people that we see on social media with this negativity. But the beautiful thing is, I have never hugged so many grown men when we score. When I'm at my seat, now I've got my season tickets, and I know them all by name, and there's a great atmosphere. And and the Arsenal fans are one of the and they're very unique and they're very special. And I genuinely believe it's an Arsenal thing. But we all chat, we all talk, we all say, and the true fans that actually love this game and love this club and love going to the Emirates. We'll drag ourselves over broken glass to get there to watch our team play. And all we ask, it's simple, is just play your heart out. Just play your heart out, because we love you and we're 100% behind it. And come Saturday, mate, I'm going to be swearing in multiple languages. I'm going to be screaming. I'm going to be jumping up and down. I'm going to be hugging people I've never met before, because I'm an Arsenal fan and I'll always be an Arsenal fan. Mate, as we watch it, and Adam, as you look at when this is a great show, because you've got an amazing amazing insight into the negativity, but the positivity is that mate, when we're there at the Emirates, it's just so special. Come on, it is so special.
So you reminded me just then of do you remember the Arsenal Villa FA Cup final from a few years back?
Yes, I do.
Great final. For me, it was the most stress-free final I've ever been to. Been lucky enough to be at most FA Cup finals in my lifetime.
Yeah,
really lucky. And this one was, I think, the most. I was chilled out completely throughout. Didn't really worry. But there was ticketing problems, and as I said to you before off the show, I've got a season ticket with my dad. I have had for years, and we applied for both. We only got one ticket, and my dad let me go. So obviously, I went to the game with a couple of guys that I knew from Arsenal. There was three of us who went. We all had one ticket each. We all had pairs or triples at the Emirates. We all went one.
Yeah.
We were sitting in different areas. So obviously, I pulled up, went down. We had drinks beforehand. Went into Wembley, sat in my seat. As soon as I sat down, the guy next to me just says, "How you doing, mate? I'm on my own. Just want to say I get a little bit emotional with the Arsenal." And I was like, "Thank God for that. So do I." And that was it. Kindred spirit straight away. And once we got chatting, it turned out all the people around us were in singles. Like everyone else had single tickets. And do you know what? I had such a laugh. Like people I hadn't met before. And to be fair, people I've not seen since. But that is what you say. It's camaraderie around the fans you've got who kind of come together. No animosity. People who are there for the enjoyment of it. And I love that kind of stuff. There's nothing like it.
And that's why we're doing. That's why we're doing these podcasts. That's why we're so. And what people don't realise is our WhatsApp group is just full of conversational pieces that go on, and that is what makes it special. And please don't take this negativity. Don't take what these people. We're taking the piss out of them. Regular, but the true fans
for the positive reasons in a way.
The true fans are sticking their burgers in our faces. And we're going bananas. We're jumping up and down, and we're screaming and shouting, and we're just loving every single thing. And ultimately, managers and players come and go, right? But the fans, we're there forever. We're absolutely there forever. And we're the ones that actually bring that atmosphere. And I'm telling you, Saturday, mate, I wish you were there. I wish you were there because I know why you're not. But next time I'm buying your pint. We're going to absolutely bring that house down. We're going to bring that house down because this is.
We'll have to do a live feed from there, I tell you.
I can't. I scream too much, mate. You won't hear my voice. Like, seriously, you just genuinely won't hear my voice. I'll be screaming.
You just lifting. We'll be fine.
I'll think about the winding. Go on, mate. Sorry.
The chats as well, just to finish off. And I've got one more question for you as well at the end. Great show. Cheers for tuning in, Sean. Much appreciated.
Thanks, brother.
I have a great manager too. I've lost track of where this could have been from, Neil. But I'm sure they have. Fab show. Cheers, Neil. Really appreciate that. Cheers, Colonel Ward as well. Great show. Really appreciate you joining in. To everyone in the chat tonight and everyone who's joined in, thank you so much for getting involved. It does mean a lot.
Yeah.
The support means a great deal to us both. Super Kicker 3 was good. I agree as well. Sensible Soccer was the one for me that got my nostalgia going. I had a girlfriend from Ipswich. She was devastated when the ship sank on the Titanic.
Well, Loki, mate, you're coming on. You're on every show. Like, that's it. You're part of the team now. Get in the WhatsApp. Give us your number. You're on a WhatsApp group. That's it. It's happening.
There was enough room on the door. I agree. And then going back to in Bengali Rust, I agree. That was disgusting.
Agree with that.
That's another chat. But I completely agree. The way he left was not good at all. The club is the fans, 100%.
100%, mate. 100% on that
Tony
one.
Adams is Arsenal. Tony Adams is going to be on Strictly, which I don't generally watch, but I'm sure we can talk about that another time.
That's going to go wrong.
Cheers, Neil. I really appreciate that. And obviously, thanks for all the interaction in the chat as well. Completely agree. The chat's been very lively tonight, and I've not been able to keep up totally. So if I have missed anything that I've not posted, I'm very, very sorry. Cheers for that, Loki. Loki, you've got to come on board. Just reach out.
Loki, come next week. Come on our show. Sean and I. Come on Adam's show. Bring your humour, my friend. We need you. We need you, brother.
So before we close, we are at the end. Once again, Steve, thank you so much for coming on board.
Oh, mate, it's an honour. It's an honour.
Chris, thanks for coming on board as well. Me and Chris are mates. We actually work together as well, so I'll be chatting to him tomorrow. We'll definitely get you back on. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Once again, remember, please, to tune into the other shows. The other shows this week have been amazing. We've got, obviously, the review show with Rich and the guests. We've got your Extra Time show. We've got Melvin's Hybrid Matter show. And, of course, we've got the social next week as well. So, yeah, there's lots to do now. There's one more question I need to ask you, Steve. So this goes back to your guest. It's something that I like to ask everyone when I get to meet them, and it's really important to me. So if you could just tell me what your favourite cheese is.
I knew you'd say that. Why did I knew you'd say what my favourite cheese is? So I got a couple, mate. I got a couple that go in there, but I've got to go with Danish Blue. I've got to go straight over Danish Blue, or being.
It tells me a lot about a person. You know, the cheese.
So yeah, being that or a heavy sort of I just like blue cheeses, mate. So Stilton, and I'm immensely British sort of, so it would be, to be honest with you, it's got to be a Stilton number one. Always big bottle of port. You ever come around my house, mate? We're gonna have loads of cheeses, bucket loads of port. Huge. I think you can see a theme actually that's going on. So it's got to be still
resonating with me. Cheese and port is my bag completely.
There we go.
Thank you once again. For those who have not done so already, please subscribe to the Over and Over Again channel. It's an amazing channel. There's some great content out there. Please like the feed tonight, and I hope to see you all next week. Cheers, Steve. See you later.
Thank you for having me on, brother. Thank you to everybody with their interaction. And mate, you got to tell Chris, like, he's coming to the Everton game. He's my guest. Yeah, he's my guest. It's happening. It's happening.
As I said, me and Chris have got a very mutual respect for each other's team. Like, I've got mutual respect for Everton, and he's got nothing but respect for Arsenal. We can have a good chat about football. He's a top bloke. So
excellent.
Get involved. Cheers for everyone.
Brilliant.
Take it easy. See you next week.
Have a good one, guys.